Well, hello everyone. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. It is June 23rd, 2024. It's 94 degrees out. The humidity is at 50%. The heat index is 102. But we're going to do bees. Welcome to Southeast Louisiana. Yeah, folks, it's a warm one, but I'm going to find my spot in the shade. Wow, the bees are coming at me because I'm right in front of the pond. And with this kind of heat and this kind of day, those bees will be just humming next to this pond. Look, I'll show you. It's a warm one for them too. So, like I said in the last video about harvesting honey, it's not always about space with plugging the nest, because the flow now is pretty much over. Again, a few small things coming in, but you don't want them to get really so small they're overheated while the queen is still growing, while brood's still emerging. But we're going to do the same thing. And in case you missed it last time, I'm trying to slowly pull down because I've got such a busy month of July. I would normally just come in sometime after July 4th, probably around the 10th, and take everything off. But maybe you guys in North Carolina know, maybe you don't know, but I'm supposed to be up there at the North Carolina State Beekeeping Conference, their summer meeting. And that's going to be like 5 days of my week, part my work week, part my weekend, and then turn around and I've got engagements after that. So we've got to get busy. So normally I would pull everything off mid-July and go on vacation. Get it all harvesting on vacation. Can't do that this time, so I'm trying to just gauge it slowly, bring them down, and hope that the queen begins to finally slow her roll. And that's what happens in July. She slows down her laying. Not a lot of pollen coming in. Dearth is on. They slow down. It doesn't hurt them to take all the boxes away because they don't need all that space, and their numbers are reducing. What I'm hoping for now is that we're seeing their numbers reduce. We take boxes away slowly. Hopefully she's slowing down. I have not been in a lot of brood nests. Actually, I haven't been in any brood nests. So we don't know if they're slowing down, but this is the time. You learn your seasons, you learn your bees, and this is the time she begins to really slow it down. So I should be able to safely take a box here, a box there. So we did last week. That's what we're going to do this week. Just a box here and a box there. I don't know if I'll take a full 10 because I don't know that there's that many. As far as letting them remain so they can be dried and capped, the only ones that are going to be dried and capped that weren't already will be the most recent that are full, but there'll be some out there on maybe a smaller colony that wasn't full. They'll never get capped. I know we'd love to see them all capped, but they get to a point where they finish out that flow and they haven't got everything completely full. They won't cap it. They will dry it, and then we'll take those in July. So any others that are capped here and there, we're going to go ahead and take them. I'm going to go ahead and take a look and see what we got. We'll pop the tops. We'll fume a few. But the difference this week is I do have my Hive Lifter. So I want to take it easy today. I want to be fresh and ready to go to work in the morning. Not sore, bent over, going, oh. Although I wasn't sore after last time. And that I attribute to just doing 10 boxes. It makes life easier. And I'm actually forced to do it that way this year. So that's what we're doing. All right, folks. Let's get down, and I'm going to start fuming, and then I'm going to go and grab my Hive Lifter. I know there's a couple slack colonies. I'm not going to take from the absolutely full ones. I said that before in the other video, but I have some. I know I can get 1, 2, probably 3. Although the bees look pretty populated on it now. 4 or 5. I could probably take 1 there. 6. Yeah, so I should, with next door and everything, I believe I can get everything I want to get today, which is about 8 or 9. There's probably 20 out here left after that, between both here, and then there's 10 in town. I'll probably get those last. I haven't even been in town in 2.5 weeks. Hadn't even been in town. Here's one that I was a bit concerned that was, a little weaker, but when I opened it up and took one last week, it had plenty of bees in it, guarding. That one, that's of course is a double. We're just growing that one up. That had swarmed on me, so I got it reduced down and growing them up. That one's packed. That one's usually packed. You can see the one down here. This is one I said last week too. It's another one that's packed out good. Very much packed out. And you can see the bees, they're chilling right now. There's not a lot of foraging. There's more water collecting going on than anything. That's usually what goes on. So probably take one off of the colony there with the green super. Probably take one off of it next door. This one, I could take this deep right now. It's over an excluder. I think they requeened. But I'm not going to take that deep right now. All right, get a little smoke on these bees. And again, just a colony here, a colony there. I do expect to see robbing if we're not careful. So some of the lighter supers I'll just stick off to the side. You know what? I don't think either one of these was full the other day. It's heavy though. I don't have my Hive Lifter yet. But it's not bad. No, not bad at all. It's not full. And it won't get full. So this one is going to get pulled out. Let's take a look. I see they're working some frames. We could always consolidate. I could pull a full one out of that other one. Now we might just do that. I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time out here today in this heat, but like this one's halfway. Yeah, that one's capped. And then this end one's probably not all the way. And I definitely want to get just capped stuff if I can. This one's about ready to be capped. They started capping it, so it's almost full. They may finish it because it might be full. Very quickly over here, we'll take this one. And I say very quickly. We'll just take a full one out of here. I didn't give these any smoke. I don't want to run them out of there, but just a little touch. And what we'll do, we'll take a full one. And I brought some covers out here. Yeah, see, so we'll take this one. It's full. It had brood in it at one time. We'll put it in here. I'm putting it in the other one. I'll put this one. Yep, that's a full one. We'll put that in there. That'll kind of fill up our box. And now we've made it a full box. We'll throw this on there. Closer to the brood, the harder it is to get them out. And we'll cover this one just to keep any curious visitors away. We'll do this. We'll give it a quick cover. Just a little something. I have vinyl covers that you can usually put on there, but I didn't bring them. All right, let's look at another one. You can see this is one where I'm not going to mess with. But these were the ones over here I was definitely going to mess with. This one for sure. One off here. We've got about 5 more I can take from this area of the yard. Yeah, this one isn't full on top. So what we're going to do is pull another one off. Although it feels like it. Let's look at it. Oh yeah, I can dry that out. I can dry that out. Again, I don't see swarming this time of year very regularly. Mostly I see absconding. But I'll never say never with bees. Yeah, see, it's half capped on that side. So I always could say 90% capped. Well, if that's that, and the other side, that's 1 frame out of 9. It's good enough. It's not exactly 90, right? Oh no, the center's as pretty as can be. Both sides, wow. So yeah, I'll just take this box. No sense in hurting myself. All right, I'm gonna fume it. Then I'm gonna go fume another one, and then we'll get the Hive Lifter. Because again, this whole video is actually about the Hive Lifter, more so than me showing you what I did last week. I don't think it's crazy robbing right now, but it's not far. I put those boxes out the other day. And while I've seen it be heavier when they clean them out, it was still good enough to say, uh-oh, don't leave something out. Over here are our next ones. I don't know if you guys have water oaks up north, but down south, these water oaks are awful. I don't think you have them too far north. All right, so I definitely want to try those 2 right there. That would be 18 and 19. We're going to look in those. I know for a fact that top super, you can see a number 26. That came off of 26. Now 26 is actually one that had swarmed, but that one had come off of 26 full of privet honey, was put back on for the tallow flow. Tallow flow was not as beautiful as everybody thought it might be around my area. Most of us talked and agreed it didn't come in, I'd say it came in average. It wasn't anything crazy. There's quite a few bees up here. So they, again, this one was put on right after I harvested, and I can see frames that are not capped. Let's look at it in the middle. That usually tells us a little bit. It's capped in the middle. See that? Okay, yeah, it's capped, so that's good enough. Even if one side on this other side is not capped, this is good enough for me. And there's a brand new box underneath with new frames. Be interested to see that. It's the only difference between July. July, I'm just snatching them all off. Yeah, so this one's pretty much capped. You can see right here. So let's run these bees down. And we'll look at this one next to it. Fume board. Oh, whew, puh. So you've heard me say before, the Hive Lifter does take more time. It does. I'll show you how I've figured out to do it. That's about the least time consuming way. It's pretty efficient and I don't have to do a lot of lifting. So far I've lifted a couple boxes, not full. One somewhat full, but you know, I'm getting ready to lift 3 or 4 with the lifter. Slower, but easier on the back, easier on the day. And with it being this hot, you can be drained so quick, exerting a lot of energy. So let's take a look at it. Very quickly, this is the B2. If anybody ever asks me about it, get the B3. Get the larger. Always get larger. Go larger. It used to be like 100 or 200 more. Get it. Air tires. This one's got 2. The B2 has 1 cylinder. Those are electric cylinders. It's got a little solar panel. It's already gained. I didn't even have to charge it because it was at 11.6. It's at 12.2 already, sitting in the sun. So that does keep the lift up, but you get numerous lifts out of this thing. Boris shows his. It really shows his operation using it. It's really made very well for escape boards. We're not seeing a lot of beetles, so I'd like to try some, because this thing, you can lift them up, put the escape in, drop it down, come back, pick them up, put them on a trailer. In my way, I really did buy it for supers. I wanted to lift supers with it when I'm by myself, but also for moving double deeps. I was moving double deeps pretty regularly each winter. That's ideal for it. It lifts them right up into the back of my truck. The problem I have is, and anybody that buys one, you have to have boxes with good handles. If you're making them, make sure they're as factory specs, or get factory boxes. Handles have to be right. I've cut grooves into all my supers, and I can still lose a super now and again. So there is some, you got to be careful with it. They also make the regular dolly model like Jerry Rawls has. Those are good. You lean them up, lift up, lean it back, and go. I like this one because it reaches out. That's what I wanted. But everybody has to figure out what's good for them. I like it. I'll put the link in the description of where you can buy these. Boris up in Canada makes them. I think he's in Manitoba, I'm pretty sure. So it just has the regular latches. Go up with it. Now it won't lift super high. Some of the high stacks I might actually still have to take off. Stands are important. Oops, other way. All right, I'm locked in at this point, and what I do, I put a little tension on it. All right, now I pop it with my hive tool. Bees are starting to check out this other box. Let me check and make sure we got bees out of it. Mostly all bees out of it. So I pop it with my hive tool. Don't want to put a lot of tension or it takes off on you. And this is a good chance for me to check and see if it's square. Sometimes I will slide it a little bit because this box is cattywampus. It's twisted, it's not square. Then all I do is I have my blower in hand. I lift it. All right. It's lifted. It'll sit just like this. Let me move around this side. I don't want to get in the way of the camera. Normally I just go from where I was at and just blow it out. Wasn't many bees in it. It did a good job that day, today, running them out. I double checked these. It's in there, but if you bounce it around a lot and you don't have a good grip on the handles, it can be bad. But I bring it down low. It says you can take 4 mediums and put it on a trailer. I don't bounce them much. I have dropped one before. It's no fun dropping one. But you just go down. That's, if you ever driven forklifts, guys, you're going to take a little getting used to. Because on a forklift, you pull back to go up. Not so on this. So bees are already investigating this one. I got this one up here. We can just put it on top since we're here already. See, this one is got good handles. I don't worry about these too much. And so yes, it's a bit slower, but it sure is nice. Because I didn't have to lift anything, and I can just rock it on there. And I can adjust it fully the next getting it out, but at least I got it on there, it's covered, and the robbers have nowhere to get that from, get that honey from now. So what do you guys think? Not bad, takes a little time. Doesn't slow you down a lot if you're not in a hurry, and today I'm not. We'll get their lid back on them. And we're done. So that means today we do have to be quick because now I have got bees investigating. So we don't want that. So we're gonna get some more boxes off and get this show on the road and get myself back on the other side, unload them, get out of the heat. I don't know if it'll reach this high. Let's look. I do have trouble getting too high. That's why the B2 would have been a slight bit better because you have to lean it forward. But if I can get any bit in the side of the box, heck, I may not. Yep, that's it, max. So this box is actually narrow, and this is where I will say you gotta watch the Hive Lifter. This box, this is a factory box, yet it's narrow. And I've got it adjusted properly, but there we go. So that's the max height I can go. And this box is a little narrow. I don't know, this is an old man lake box because the only finger joint boxes I had that are old were Man Lake. No, you know what? I bought some from somebody else too. He doesn't sell them anymore, so. Now this one's in here sketchy. I am going to tell you guys, it's very sketchy, but we're going to hope we don't drop it. We get it down low in case we do, we don't damage it too bad. But I don't know if this is the one I got from Man Lake or the one I used to get from a fella over near Baton Rouge. But I can tell you it's narrow. So we're going to hope we don't drop it. If it bounces, it could drop. So that's another thing you got to watch. But, you know, I know Hilco boxes work good on here. Daydamp boxes work great on here. Premier boxes, I've put a few of those on here. They all work really well. Not advertising for those three, just saying they work. That's most of the boxes I have. And haven't had any issues with those. And my homemade ones, now that I put some grooves in them, they work. And just like that. There we go. All right, next. So we'll pull this off. Another thing is watch placement of the hives. I'm barely enough room when I go to that next one to get it off. And this one might even be too high. Where's my hand? There it is. I'm not even on it, no wonder. All right, so we got this one loose. So what I'll do is turn it out of the way. Now going down. So we're going to fume this one and I'm going to cover that one. Quite a few bees in here. There we go. All right, now we can go get these others. I've never tried this type of box that it's on now. This is actually a Rossmann box. So because this one is too high, my stands are too high, I'm gonna have to move it forward a little bit. I'll move it forward. Still not picking it up. And we'll rock it back. And there we go. Now see, this is where I'm telling you it takes a little while longer. So let me wheel this over and I'll get it right back over here and we'll get the next one. It slows me down a bit, but it does work. There you go. One thing you gotta make sure straighten them out when doing honey supers. Now you probably know why I don't try this when I'm pulling 20 boxes. I gotta have people in, to go this slow. In July, it already been robin, would have been out of control by now. And you're always, you know, in my yard, you're always gonna get robin if you're over here. But to what extent? That's the question, you know? To what extent? All right, just pick it straight up. I'm gonna lean it back, get my blower. Bring it down low. I don't know, can you guys see me? Because this is where your B2 lifter comes in handy, because you get like an extra 6 inches of height. 6 inches would have made a difference on a few of these. All right, that's 4 on that side, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and get 4 more, and that's gonna be all I'm getting today. So we'll cover these up, and I'll get the rest. So you get the idea, folks. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get these off, go next door, maybe get 1 or 2 over there, and we'll see what we come up with at the end. How about that? Ooh, it's hot today, folks, hot today. There are a couple more I could take off out here, but they're just too crowded, I feel like, so I'm not going to. Just gonna stick with my plan. All right, this was always a problem because I got a big anthill that I never dug back out of here. And it sits level. Another issue with the Hive Lifter, need level ground. With your hive stand, you can take this thing on hilly terrain, but the actual stand itself, like right here, needs to be level. And I may have to carry this one. I ran into this with this stand. I got an old anthill, I need to dig it out. See, now my one side isn't grabbing because I'm not on level ground. So that's another thing you got to remember with these. Level ground. Oh yeah, much better. We'll go with that. All right. You can see where these things would be great for bee escapes. You lift them a little bit and then you put a bee escape in and drop them down. I don't use the bee escapes because I'm worried about hive beetles being in my hives that long. Not a chance I'm willing to take right now. Although this year the hive beetles so far haven't been bad, but they will get bad. All right, that's it. 1 more to pull over there. Done over here. Mission accomplished for today. Time to put some stuff away. It's still hot. The heat index actually went down. It was 103, it's now 102 because humidity went from 50% to 48%. It's still 95 degrees. All in all, you see it does take a little longer with a Hive Lifter, but I am not sore one bit whatsoever. So. All right, folks, here we are in the honey house, and I am done for the day. Talk a little bit about the Hive Lifter. By the way, here's what we got. There's 9 boxes there. And as you can see, I got my fans drying it. We're at 35% in here. And we got the room set up pretty warm. That's 78 to 80 degrees in here. And I'll dry those for a couple days, and then that'd be a good project for after work one evening. Knock those out. The last batch we had 10 frames. 10 frames. 10 boxes. I knocked out 30 gallons on that. So what is that? That's like, I don't know, 360 pounds, I guess. So that's averaging 3 gallons a box. The Hive Lifter. Let me go outside away from these fans in this wonderful heat. Let's talk about that. I showed you the ups, the downs with it, the pros, the cons, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, it's got its issues. If you don't have good boxes, if you don't have great handles, it can be a problem. Level ground in front of the stands. This can be used on rolling hills and things, and rough terrain, but right there at the stands, you definitely have to have flat ground. Somebody was asking about that. Oh, Brian Lee, Alabama. And I had told him, unless you're, you know, you got about 6 feet in front of your colonies that it's the same height and level ground, it's probably not gonna work that well. But I'm not tired. My arms aren't hurting, my back's not hurting. It lifts them very easily. Some of the slowdown was due to moving the camera and things like that. So, like I said, I can blame you for a little bit, right? But no, it works fine, but it has its limitations, and it does slow you down. If we're out there doing 30 boxes of honey, and we've got robbing going like crazy, you know, every time we pull a box, we got bees attacking it, then it's just gonna have to grin and bear it. I wanted it also to move double deeps, so for good boxes, that works. Unfortunately, a lot of mine were homemade at the time. So I had to put some strips of wood on some of them. Some of them I haven't done that yet, and I'm not going to. As I weed them out, I'll be able to move all my boxes. But it's great for moving double deeps. Puts them right in the back of a truck or on a trailer. I stacked 12 out on a trailer one time. Works great. So there's limitations, but there's also great things about it. I like it. Always remember, I recommend get the next larger one, the largest one he's got. It lifts about, I forget how many, 8 inches higher, and it also lifts maybe 100 pounds more, I don't know, something like that. You can look it up. I'll put the link in the description to his channel. It's the Bee Breeding Center, but not a promotional video or anything, just showing you my Hive Lifter. And it did help today. So the boxes I use nowadays are Hilco, primarily Hilco. I've got some from Greg Dunn's brother up in Mississippi, Terry Dunn. He builds beautiful boxes with great handles. Rossman boxes work great with that thing, and the Premier boxes have worked great with it. The Man Lake boxes work good too, the few that I have. That one that was narrow out there, I don't know if that was an Old Man Lake or one I used to get from Mr. Gary or not, but it was narrow for whatever reason, but I can make it work. So anyway, that's the deal with the Hive Lifter. See it for yourself. You know, I'm not gonna pull any punches on it and say it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm not gonna say it's the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna say it works great for me. You gotta know what it's gonna work for you if you want it, because people ask me all the time about my Hive Lifter, and I tell them all these things. I just want them to be, you know, have a fair view of what I've seen with it, because it's not cheap. But, my back feels so good today. That's good. So we'll pull some more next week, pull some more the week after, and come July, pull them all. Well, folks, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate all your support. I say that all the time, and I truly mean it. It amazes me, the support I get from all you guys. Just amazing to me. So I appreciate it. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.